I'm joined today on Primetime Local News with Josh Anderson. We're going to be talking about the race of Vermilion that's going to be taking place later in this month. It's going to be happening in a virtual format this year. But Josh, before we get into this year's event, can you just tell me a little bit more about the race of Vermilion in general?
So what the race of Vermilion is, it's going to be, it's hosted on March 20th. It's going to be an event that runs from noon till about 4 o'clock. And typically it's going to be activities that's going to be within the community of Vermilion. It's going to be done at home per se, or it could be done online, but also it's going to be done without activities done through the community. Typically we're trying to promote businesses around the community. It's obviously through the pandemic, it's been really a tough time for these businesses. We're kind of trying to give back to them, and hopefully that we can kind of buy local. And that way we kind of give back to the community and kind of support them in that way.
So in previous years, this was a big thing where people obviously would be racing each other and stuff would be very.
Yeah.
And this year it's more virtual. Can you kind of just talk a little bit about how things are going to go this year?
Yeah, so obviously the previous years we had lots of activities throughout the whole community. Obviously through the pandemic, we're kind of restricted to these type of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do like a virtual format now. So typically everything is going to be submitted through a point selection. So after you've done your activity, you'd send over, like, let's say a picture, for example, have some confirmation on those points. And then that way we know that you actually done the activity, and then you'd acquire points that way. And obviously finish the race in a matter of time that you get all the points, and then you typically win the race for first place.
So as you mentioned, it's going to be taking place on March 20th. For people who are interested in registering, how are they able to do so?
So if they go on to www.thegoodlifeinstitute.ca, you can online, go on the online forum there and put your team in that way. And mentioning, just elaborate on that, typically wanted to deal with just your own cohort. So obviously we still have to abide by your pandemic restrictions. So obviously your own cohort, so it could be a family or it could be a bunch of friends, let's say, that live together. And there's no number of members. So you can have as many members as you want, but it has to be, again, from the same family or cohort for that matter.
And is this something that people from around the area can take part in? So someone from Lloydminster can take part in this race?
Typically, yes, but in the other way you got to look at it, we have lots of activities, so they have to be in Vermilion, because we have lots of activities that have to go to businesses, because that's typically what we're trying to promote too, is these businesses, so they'll have to be in Vermilion to do it.
And can you just tell me a little bit more about the Good Life Institute?
All right, so the Good Life Institute obviously is trying to get everybody to interact within the community, try to promote businesses, and try to do it in like a fun manner. So obviously we have about 5 different events. So we have a love event. So we'll look at some culinary arts, and we kind of do like a little educational thing on that and how everything's made. And then we have the Race of Vermilion, obviously lots of activities, interacting with everybody and promoting businesses, obviously with the love event as well, trying to get the food industry involved. And then we have also the Taste of Vermilion. So all the restaurants throughout Vermilion would come and deliver some type of food that they have from their restaurant, and you get to try every one of those items. And it's kind of nice because it kind of coincides with Canada Day, so you can actually see the fireworks and try to little taste tests. And then we also have the art in the park, so you can do an art class. You can look at other people's artwork or even buy some artwork that's stationed there. And there's a nice meal that's involved with that one. And then we have the Savor event. And so the Savor event is going to be dealing with, again, culinary arts within the community, and also liquor vendors that's throughout the whole province, essentially. And you can try different things from that as well.
And what are you hoping that people are able to get out of this event?
Typically, I hope that everybody's doing well through the pandemic. I hope the race is something that everybody can actually interact and get out from. Obviously, everybody's been stuck in their homes, obviously, so hopefully they can get out and do some things. Typically, obviously, we're going to try to promote businesses as well, so hopefully we can buy local. We win, they win, we all win, as the statement goes. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over.
And just one thing to mention, if they want any more information, these individuals, if they go on to www.thegoodlifeinstitute.com, they list all of our events there. And then if they want any information, obviously we have to be dependent on the pandemic restrictions, but as the pandemic rolls on, we'll actually post the events according to what's happening out in this province.